Good afternoon. So Tony said data, data, data. And so my presentation is primarily data. I will be showing graphs and charts based on real paywalls, real subscription systems run on more than 600 newspapers in North America, so Canada and the United States. Piano Media is a digital subscription software platform. We have more than 72 publishers who use our software to run their digital subscription systems. And we're active in more than 12 countries. In addition to software, we have an analytics team, and we're doing a lot of data mining on behalf of our publishers. So what I want to talk about today is that I think we have a crisis of readership, and I will show that with the data, and that if you want people to become subscribers, you first need to have them become readers, because I will show to you that 40% of your audience does not read a single article. So the way that you're going to learn more about your audience is to put some sort of JavaScript on your site and collect that data, and to be able to better understand your customer and to target an offer to the customer. The paywall industry in general is evolving to just serving one offer to the entire audience. So please subscribe for $5. So one message, one offer to everybody. And as publishers use more and more tools that are available to them, they can better understand who their customer is, what they read, how they consume content, and then to be able to serve different types of offers to audience segments. And so what I consider this a kind of value exchange that's being created, where you would perhaps pay for content, fill out a survey, as you'll hear later, to continue reading for an hour or watch a video. So what and how you would pay for what types of content you get will evolve, and you'll see subscription offers become more personalized based on the audience behavior. So the first thing that we do is we look at content, because that's what people are paying for, and we look at content attractiveness. And this is a graph from an Austrian daily newspaper with about 2 million unique users. And what it shows you is that different sections, the size of those bubbles, I didn't realize the slides weren't changing, excuse me. So this is real data from an Austrian publisher, daily newspaper with about 2 million unique users, and it's showing you that different sections have different attractiveness. And so what you see here is, this is called Loyalty 100. It's a number of users who visit the site daily over a quarterly period. So this is a quarterly analysis. And so what you can see is, while opinion, that the bubble on the farthest right has the most loyalty, it has the most frequent visits, is opinion, but you can see it's also the lowest, so it has the least number of unique users visiting that content. So where you want to be is you want to be in the upper right-hand corner. So the content in the upper right-hand corner has the most repeat visits, the most loyalty 100, meaning 100 visits in one quarter, and it has the most traffic, the most page views. And so this is one way to look at your content to decide, is that content valuable? Will people pay for it? The next thing to look at is, I put my glasses so I can see it, what's the average page views generated on your site? So we took data from 600 different newspaper websites. Most of them are regional daily newspapers, some are national newspapers, and the average of all those 600 sites of the entire audience base of full article pages, so not the website traffic, but of someone clicking on a full article page, was 3 page views per month. That's it, 3. The top 5% had 5.2 page views. When I say page views, a full article page. So they were actually reading an article. Another way to look at your content is how many people are reading articles on a monthly basis. So these are 2 curves. One curve is a desktop traffic, one is content consumption, and the second curve is the mobile content consumption. We had a lot of talk about mobile earlier today. And what you see here is that 40% of the audience doesn't even read one full article page. And what these curves are showing you is the number of articles that a user is reading over the course of a month. So as you can see, it drops off considerably to around 10% of users might read 9 articles a month. So if 10% of your users are reading 9 articles a month, that means 90% are reading less. And what you see here also is that people are reading fewer full article pages on mobile than they are on the desktop. So when we push the traffic to mobile, I mean, it's going there automatically. Sanomat in Finland has 51% of their traffic on mobile, but it's not only hard to monetize with ad revenue, it's going to be hard to monetize with subscription revenue because people are surfing on a mobile phone. They're not really reading full article pages. So this is a scatter diagram of the 600 sites that we analyze, and it's just looking at page views and then conversions, people who bought a subscription. And it's kind of an obvious graph. You can see that if you generate more page views, you will increase your conversion rate because the frequency of reading, so you're increasing readership, and through that engagement, through that readership, you're going to hit the paywall sooner, so you're going to be more inclined to be asked to pay, and you will pay. And here's exactly what the conversion rate. So Tony in his presentation said he thought that around 0.4% of users were paying, who were asked to pay, and you can see here in the middle, it's in this North American market, so Canada and the United States, 600 regional newspapers. The average was 0.45% conversion. But that's mostly, in my opinion, because the papers are not doing any marketing. The paywall is kind of on autopilot. The product that they're offering might not be relevant to the user. So the publishers who work at their paywall, they treat it as a product, and there's e-commerce, and they're selling something, and they're actively selling it. The top 5% have 2.82% conversion, so 2.82% of the unique users are actually purchasing a subscription. This is something new we're starting to do, is looking at tagging of content and looking how content trends over a month so that a newsroom could then decide what types of content to produce so that the content is relevant and current. So that gray, or that blue line in that gray zone, that's the trend line. Tags above that, this is over a 1 month period, and tags above that trend line are articles that are attracting more traffic, more page views than the average, and tags below that trend line are attracting less page views, less traffic than the average. And this could be a way to inform the newsroom of, well, perhaps let's write less stories on the subjects below the trend line and more stories on the subjects above that trend line. So in general, what you're looking at when you launch a digital subscription system are these layers that Tony mentioned, where you would first, at the most basic level, put scripts on your site so you collect data. I mean, if you don't put a paywall on your site, you're not collecting any data. Without any data, you are uninformed. And all of your users are anonymous browsers. So everybody who's reading your content are just browsers. They're not even people. And you're double counting them or triple counting them. So by putting a registration wall, as it's called, which Tony spoke about, at least you say, register to keep reading. You collect only the email address. But at least now you take an anonymous browser and you move them into a known person. And also, once you have them registered, the software on the back end can merge, so you know that this browser, which is the phone, the tablet, the desktop, Office, that's all the same person. And then you can see what that person is reading, and what time of day they read, and what type of device they read on. And you can think about what you could offer them, because you could start creating personas, so groups of your audience, or audience segments that have a certain persona, and you could have offers against that persona. But at any rate, once you pass the registration step, you would move then into some form of paid content. So at that, I'm going to stop, because I'm not going to talk about case studies. I'm just going to end with, well, while 98% of your traffic or of your audience does not want to pay for content, it's true, 2% will. That 2% can be worth a couple of $1 million. That couple of $1 million will not fill in the tens of millions of dollars of drop in advertising revenue, but why turn down a couple of $1 million? I'm going to pass the floor over to my colleague at Google, who looks at how to monetize the 98% who don't want to pay, because my business model is looking at the 2% who do want to pay, but there is something you can do with those 98% who don't want to pay. So thank you.